Hi fellow filmmakers, I had this great idea to make a video here in the rooftop, but it's raining so I have to adapt. And in this video I'm going to share you my 7 principles of accelerated learning when it comes to filmmaking and video making. Because I'm gonna step up my learning game and you shall benefit from that. And in the end of this video I have a big announcement for you guys, so stick to the end. I wanted to come and make this video here on this very rooftop, even though it's raining, and there's a good reason for that. Because 7 or 8 years ago I saw this story or this video of the one man's quest to make it. He had a lot of skills and he decided to make, forget all about he learned in universities and schools and from parents and just make it his own way. And in that video, of course, he made it very big, and that was a very inspirational video, and it was shot on a rooftop just like this. And then I decided, after seeing that video, I decided that I want to make it as well. And well, I started and failed because I didn't have any skills. And then I needed to go to university and started learning, and for many years I spent I spent my time in university and actually not learning anything. I studied architecture, by the way. And then after a couple of years ago, I decided to quit university and start my video production company. So in very short period of time, I learned the skills required to make videos, and then I started living off from my video skills. And about a year ago I started my YouTube channel, and half a year ago, or less than half a year ago, I launched my first product on my YouTube channel on this very same rooftop. And since then I've been able to live off the support of people just like you who support my channel, and I'm able to live off from my YouTube channel. So I kind of made it. Even though I totally forgot about the video that I saw a long time ago, I realized just some time ago that actually that video maybe was the first step of me being here. And that brings me to the first principle of accelerated learning, which is everything that you see around you was first created in someone's mind, and then it was created in reality. So the same principle applies to learning. So this means when it comes to learning filmmaking is that you have to first imagine yourself learning that skill. You have to kind of imagine, create this feeling that how it feels when you can do that skill. This is important because when you start learning something complex, you don't actually believe in the beginning that you can actually learn it. But if you have some kind of a compass for you to help to get there better, it's very important. Then the second principle is that whenever you start learning something, start with something that you can break down into smaller pieces. For example, you might go to the movies and see the movie Infinity Wars from Marvel and be inspired that I want to make that movie, but you really can't. You have to be able to break the skill down into smaller parts. So for example, with that movie, just choose one scene from that movie and then break that down. For example, you could break it down as lighting, camera movement, script, acting, whatever pieces you can do, and then you can learn that skill. But if you cannot break it down, then you cannot really learn that skill. Then the third principle or strategy in this case is to start with a reference. Just take one reference. For example, that scene from that movie. Something that you can compare your work and your learning process to, and kind of make that into a goal. For example, just take one scene or just one clip from a movie, just one portrait or one setup of lighting, and make that your reference, and then learn how to recreate that. So analyze it and recreate it, because then you have something to compare your skills, because it's easy just to continue doing the same thing that you always done over and over again and think you're making an improvement, if you don't have something kind of higher to refer your work to. Because if you don't know where you're standing, it's very hard to get higher. Then principle number 4 is to learn in intensive and short sprints. So instead of trying to kind of improve your skill level over time for long periods of time and doing it slowly, instead dedicate a short period of time for learning and learn it quickly. So for example, create one scene from a movie and fully dive in and do that for one weekend. And then when you have done it, you have learned much more than you would have learned by looking tutorials on YouTube for weeks on end. And there will always be excuses that might stop you from doing the thing. Just set yourself a limit, and in that period of time, just do it and don't worry about the excuses. For example, this rain and this lens, it's all wet now and the image is all blurry, but I won't let it affect me. I'm just going to do this video in this very short period of time. So do it with your learning as well. Then the fifth principle is to learn just in time. And this means that instead of learning everything related to filmmaking and starting your first project, instead do it the other way around. So start your first project, define what are the skills that you need to learn for that very specific project, and learn those skills just in time. You can do this with your clients as well by just a bit over-promising on your skills and then learning those skills before the production starts. And this is good because instead of just having a general understanding of filmmaking, you can develop this kind of hero skills, so like a spike in your field of understanding and skills. And it might be that in general you're like just a normal filmmaker, nothing special, but you have this one skill of recreating maybe a scene from Blade Runners, the movie. You can recreate the whole scene, and that's your special hero skill. So I recommend you learning hero skills instead of trying to kind of get your overall skill level up. Then the sixth principle is that you must have someone to ask questions, because when you start learning, you start doing things, there will be questions that you need an answer to. If you don't have anyone, Google is okay, but it's better to have a human, someone who has done the thing that you want to learn, and ask them. But remember that in many cases those people are rather busy, so don't waste their time. Have very specific, very smart questions to ask, because then they can quickly answer you in a way that kind of fulfills your need to understand the topic. And whenever someone gives you the advice, do the effort of actually putting that advice in practice, because if you just ask for advice but you don't follow the advice, it's very frustrating for people like mentors, because I've been mentoring a lot of people. It's kind of frustrating that first I pour my effort on giving some good advice, and then the person who I give the advice doesn't follow. So if you ask for advice, remember to follow that. If you don't have anyone, Google is okay, like a substitute for a human to ask questions. But in the end of this video, I have another option for you as well. Then the seventh principle is that there's 3 levels to skill. The first level is information. You might have a lot of tutorials on your hard drive just lying around, or maybe you have looked at those tutorials, or maybe you have a list of good tutorials on YouTube. Maybe you have quickly watched those, but you don't quite understand them. That's the level of information. The second level is understanding. So when you go through those tutorials and you really understand them, you understand the concept, you can actually kind of reference them, you can summarize them to a friend of yours or something, that's understanding. But then comes the third level, which is experience. And the only way to get your skill level to the experience level is by doing. Because even though you might understand all the concepts, there's no substitute for actually doing the stuff. Because it somehow kind of translates from the understanding part of your brain into the actually being able to do that thing part of the brain or something. So remember, 3 levels, there's no skipping actually doing stuff. So those are the principles for me to learn faster. Then the question might be, what do I want to learn? Well, instead of asking that question, let's turn it around. What do you want to learn? This YouTube channel of mine has always been, or at least in my mind, more about you than it has about me. I'm not the hero of this channel. I want you to be the hero of this channel. And I must say that the thing that I really enjoy is teaching. And especially with you guys, I really like replying to your emails and your Facebook Messenger messages that you send me. And I'm really eager to kind of help you get ahead in your life and reach your goals and get forward in your careers. And I want to step up that. I want to make that even better. And that's why I'm starting a Facebook group for people just like you and me, for learning together in an accelerated way. And this Facebook group, there's a link below this video where you can join that group. And on that group, I'll be hosting, so I will be trying to reply to as many of your questions as I can, Of course, my time is limited, so you can actually help and reply to other people's questions, and we can actually kind of start learning together. And then I have a lot of ideas what we can do in that kind of a platform where it's like two-way communication more than in here in YouTube. YouTube is a great place, but I think YouTube is more like for kind of one-way communication, where the YouTube channel keeper, like the hero of the video, is the hero of the story. But I want you to be the hero. I want you to learn. I want to teach. I want all of us to get kind of forward in our careers. So join that Facebook group. The link is in the description below, and see you inside. There's more information there. See you there. Bye.